Babatunde lay in his bed, weak and cold. His breath was slow, like wind passing through dry leaves. His eyes were tired, but still full of life. He looked at his children, Kunlay, Bimbo, and Tunde, standing at the door. They didn't smile. They didn't cry. They just watched him, waiting. "I am not ready to go," Babatunde whispered. "Not yet." But his children had other plans. They were tired of waiting. Babatunde had money, land, gold buried under the house, but he had hidden the key and the secret. He always said, "When I die, you will know." So they decided to help him die. That night, they gave him sleeping herbs, strong and bitter. His eyes closed and he did not wake up. Bimbo placed a hand near his mouth.
"He's not breathing," she said.
"Good," Kunlay whispered. They wrapped their father in white cloth and dug a hole behind the house. The moon was high, the wind was still. They dropped him in and covered him with dirt. But deep under the soil, Babatunde's heart beat slowly, and his soul began to scream. The next morning, the house was full of laughter. Bimbo cooked rice and meat. Kunlay danced to the radio. Tunde poured palm wine into cups and said, "To our new life." They wore bright clothes. They smiled big smiles. Neighbors came to visit and say sorry, but the family didn't look sad, not even a little. "We miss him," Kunlay lied, placing a hand on his chest. "But Papa is resting now." Deep inside, he was smiling. They all were. Later, they went to Babatunde's room. They broke the lock on his old wooden chest. Inside, they found papers, gold coins, a small key, and a letter with his handwriting. Bimbo grabbed the key. "It must be for the box under the floor," she said. The box was heavy, buried under a loose wooden tile. Inside, wrapped in cloth, were fat bundles of cash. Old, but still good. The kind of money that made your hands shake. They danced again, but as night came, the air turned cold. The lights flickered once, twice, then went out. From deep under the ground, a knock came. Then a voice, hoarse and low. "I am not dead yet." The knock came again. The three siblings froze. Kunlay dropped his cup. It shattered. Wine spilled on the floor. "Did you hear that?" Bimbo asked. Her voice was a whisper. "No," Tunde said too quickly, but the knock came again, this time louder. Then the voice. "I am not dead yet." Kunlay ran to the window. No one was outside. The wind had stopped. The trees stood still. Even the crickets had gone quiet. "It's just our minds," Tunde said, but his hands were shaking. His father's voice had been soft, but full of anger. He had been buried deep. There was no way they could hear him, unless he wasn't really dead. All night, the knocking returned. Sometimes it came from the floor, sometimes from the walls. Once, it came from Bimbo's pillow. "I am not dead yet." They didn't sleep. They just waited for morning or madness. The next night, the house did not stay silent. Whispers filled the air. They came from corners, from cracks in the wall, from underneath the beds. "Why did you bury me? Did you think I'm dead? You are not safe." Bimbo covered her ears, but the voices slipped in like smoke. Bimbo tried to pray, but her words came out backwards. Kunlay lit candles, but the flames danced with cold wind that had no source. Then came the sound of dragging, heavy, slow, like feet pulling through dirt. It moved through the hallway. It stopped at each door. Then it moved on. When it reached Kunlay's door, it didn't stop. It opened. The door creaked, but no one entered. Nothing they could see. But Kunlay felt it. Ice fingers brushing his cheek. Cold breath on his neck. "I am still your father," the voice said, "and you are still my children." Then silence. Kunlay screamed. They tried to act normal the next day, but their eyes were red, their faces tired. Bimbo wanted to leave. Let's just go. Leave the money, leave the house. No, Kunlay snapped. We buried him. He's not coming back. But the floor creaked when no one walked. The lights flickered again and again. The shadows moved on their own. Food turned sour without reason. Water spilled on its own. They could feel it now. The house wasn't just haunted, it was angry. That night, Bimbo finally slept, but her dreams were full of red dirt and closed boxes. She saw her father's face, eyes wide open, mouth full of soil. His hands scratching, digging, breaking his nails against the wood. He looked at her and said, "You made me die twice." She woke up screaming, and from under her bed, a hand reached out. Kunlay couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed a shovel. "I'll dig him up," he said. "If he's really dead, then we can sleep." "What if he's not?" "Then we fix it," Kunlay said, though his hands were shaking. They went to the grave by the mango tree. The moon was full, but it gave no warmth. Every step felt heavier. The wind whispered, but not in any language they knew. Kunlay dug, one scoop, then another. Faster now, sweat and fear mixed on his face. The shovel hit something hard. Wood. He cleared the dirt. Tunde stepped back. "Open it," Bimbo said. Kunlay opened the coffin. Empty. Just a torn cloth, a few fingernails, and a hole, small and dark, where the old man had clawed his way out. Tunde screamed. Bimbo fell to her knees. Kunlay dropped the shovel. Because behind them, someone whispered, "Too late." That night, they didn't talk. They sat close, lights on, doors locked. But the whisper came back. This time, it was clearer, stronger. "I crawled through the dark. I felt the worms eat my skin. I called for you. You never answered." Then the voice laughed, not loud, just soft, slow, cruel. The floor groaned as if someone walked across it. Wet footsteps. Muddy. Smelling like rot. The windows shook, the lights blinked. Something scratched the door from outside. Tunde grabbed a knife. Sade held a Bible. Kunlay stood frozen. Then the door creaked open. No one was there. Just a muddy footprint. A man's size. Barefoot. It walked into the house. Bimbo tried to sleep, but the dreams came. She was in the coffin now, not her father. The dirt was in her mouth. Her eyes were open, but only darkness stared back. Then she saw him, Baba Tunde, crawling beside her, his skin torn, his mouth full of broken teeth. "You buried me," he whispered. "Now I'll take something from you." Bimbo woke up screaming, but her room had changed. Her bed was filled with dirt, and on the wall, scratched deep with fingers, were the words, "You first." Kunlay began to change. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping. He sat in his father's chair, eyes wide open, whispering to himself. "I didn't mean it," he said over and over. He heard drums now. Slow, deep drums, beating from under the floor. He said they were calling his name. "Come down," the voice said. "Come where the dead don't rest." One night, he stood on the roof, barefoot, arms wide. "I'm ready," he shouted to the sky, but the sky didn't answer. The wind pushed him, he slipped, he fell, and when they ran to find his body, there was no blood, only mud. Bimbo couldn't take it. She ran to the old priest. She told him everything about the fake death, the burial, the voices. The priest's face turned pale. "You didn't just bury a man," he said. "You buried his spirit alive. That's a curse older than this village." She begged for help. He gave her salt, oil, and black thread. "Tie this around your door, speak no lies. If he comes, face him." She returned home shaking. The house smelled worse now, like rotten old blood. Flies gathered where Kunlay once sat. She tied the thread. She prayed. But the voice came anyway, and it said, "Truth will not save you." Bimbo found a letter in their father's drawer. She had seen it before, but never read it. It said, "My children, if I die, do not bury me quickly. Wait 3 days, please." Bimbo dropped the letter. Her chest felt tight. Her father had warned them. They had buried him the same night. She ran to Tunde. "We killed him," she cried. "We buried him alive for gold." Because she already knew, and it was too late. The house grew colder each day. The windows cracked. The walls bled sap that smelled like iron. The mirror showed other faces. The priest returned. He stepped inside, looked around and stepped back. "There's no prayer strong enough now," he said. "What do we do?" Bimbo cried. "You must finish what you started," he said. "Find his body. Burn it. Speak his name. Beg him for mercy." "But he's gone," Tunde said. "We dug the grave. It was empty." The priest turned to her. "Then he is walking." At night, the ground shook. Cracks appeared on the floor. Dirt spilled from under the tiles. The garden withered. The mango tree bent low, as if pulled by something underground. One morning, they woke up to see a hole in the backyard. It was wide, deep, and still growing. They heard breathing inside, and the voice said, "Come down, sit with me." No one dared go near, but the hole kept growing. Bimbo tied a rope around her waist. "If he wants me, I'll go." "No," Tunde said, grabbing her hand. "I made the choice," Bimbo whispered. "I was the one who gave him the herbs." She went into the hole. It was wet, cold, smelled like death. Down there she saw bones, clothes, her father's wedding ring, and then she saw him. He wasn't a ghost. He was real. Alive, barely, skin pale, lips cracked, eyes wild. He smiled. "Now you know what death feels like." Bimbo climbed out with shaking hands. She carried something. Her father had handed her the key, the real key. The one he swallowed before the burial.
It was hot, burned her skin. She dropped it. "What do we do?" Tunde asked. Bimbo cried. "We give it back." They placed the key at the foot of the tree, lit a fire around it, sang the song their grandmother taught them. The wind screamed, the tree cracked, and the fire died. But the key was gone. The next morning the grave was filled again, but it was not dirt, it was stones, heavy, dark and warm, and carved into them was a face, Baba Tunde's face. Eyes closed, mouth open. No one had touched the grave. No one could move the stones. Bimbo fell to her knees. "What does it mean?" Tunde whispered. "He is buried now." But not at rest. It rained that night, hard, loud, and in the middle of it someone knocked, not at the door, at the window. A man stood there, soaked, tall, barefoot. Mud clung to his clothes. His eyes were red. Bimbo opened the curtain. Her mouth dropped. It was their father, alive, or maybe not. "I have come home," he said. And the wind blew the door open. The family sat with him. No one spoke. Their father did not eat, did not blink. He just stared at them one by one. "You loved gold more than me," he said, "but now I have gold too." "What gold?" Tunde asked. He opened his mouth, and inside were teeth made of stone. "You buried me with the curse of the soil," he said, "and now I am its child." Then he vanished. Each night after that, someone came to the house. Not people, shapes, faces, spirits. They sat in the chairs, walked the hall, looked into mirrors. They didn't speak, just watched. And one by one, the villagers stopped visiting. The house stood alone because death had moved in. Years passed, the house crumbled, the mango tree died. No one lived there anymore, but some nights, if you walk close, you'll hear a knock. Software, slow, cold, and if you listen closely, a voice will whisper, "I am not dead yet." And you will run, because you know now. The dead don't sleep.